Hi, I hope you're keeping well. This is the second of our reflections on the Bible in 1 year project, and I'm reflecting on a little bit of what we read in days 2 to 5. Last time out, you might remember I talked about fresh starts, and I mentioned opening that pristine, clean, new school exercise book, first page, and how I resolved I wasn't going to make any mistakes in this book. Of course, it didn't last. In fact, you probably never had to go that far in to that book for the scrawl to become more careless and untidy, with a crossing out and some big red X's from the teacher's pen. And by that, I'm not talking about kisses. Well, the Bible opens with a picture of a good world created good by God, with a harmony and humanity placed within it to care for the world. And yet the world as we know it isn't really like that, is it? It can be beautiful, it can be wonderful, but it can also be dark, scary, hostile even. And if all we had was Genesis 1, you might be forgiven for wondering, how did we get here? Well, just like you wouldn't have to go too far into my exercise book to see things starting to go wrong, so within Scripture we get to the root of the problem very quickly. Sin enters into the picture very quickly. And with it, the breakdown in harmony between us and God, between us and each other, between us and our created environment, even within ourselves. You know, the point of that story isn't that a couple a long, long time ago in a land some far, far away ate a piece of fruit and doomed the rest of us. We can't pass the buck. This isn't a story about what happened. This is a story about what happens. This is about the choices we make when we put ourselves at the center of the universe, when we set ourselves as number one and set ourselves against one another. But once sin enters into the picture, it permeates everything and it escalates very quickly. In chapter 4 of Genesis, we have the first murder, brother against brother, when the settled agrarian style of life that Cain adopts comes into conflict with the more nomadic pastoral style of life chosen by Abel. And pretty soon, violence becomes the order of the day and gives way to the story of the flood and the development of empire and the determination of people at Babel to make a name for themselves. It's worth remembering that these stories were probably collected together sometime around when the Israelites were in exile in Babylon, which is Babel in the story. But just as the creation story was a reminder of the immense power and authority of God in a world which looked like God had been defeated, so in these verses, in these chapters, we see the limitations of our power. All ideas of control are shown to be delusions. We come and go, but God is ultimately sovereign. As Psalm 2 suggests, God doesn't feel threatened by us. If anything, he finds our delusions quite amusing, really. But despite a world turning against God, God doesn't give up on the world. God comes looking for a man and a woman in the garden. He clothes them way better than they could when they tried to do it themselves. Cain thinks he's crossed the line and that he'll be hidden from God. But God makes clear that that's not the case. Even in the flood, the emphasis is on God preserving what he had created, not giving up entirely on it. And in our New Testament readings, we see that God really hasn't given up on us. He has entered the story in flesh, in his Son Jesus. That however messed up things got, God was determined to set things right. Oh, it wasn't straightforward, and he met opposition. Even when he was just a baby, an attempt was made to thwart God's plan as Herod sought to destroy him. But God wasn't caught short and simply moved the Holy Family to safety until such times as Herod was gone. And then as the story progresses, we see that where the man and woman fail in Eden, Jesus succeeds, choosing to trust in God rather than listen to the tempter. Unlike the people of Babel, he decides he's not really in it to make a name for himself. Rather, he identifies with us fully, not just in flesh, but in humbly submitting to baptism, despite the protestations of John. And then on a mountain of Galilee, Jesus sits down and begins with the manifesto of the kingdom, the Sermon on the Mount. And he opens by outlining a very different way to be great, to be blessed, one which runs totally counter to anything we would think of as blessed, anything we would think of as success. In a troubled, fallen world, even though we may be part of that trouble and fallenness, Jesus invites us to listen to his instruction, to accept it, to live in it, to acknowledge God as God, and know that God is on our side, and that we can take refuge in him, knowing that he can sustain us. Let's pray. Father God, we do live in a troubled world. The choices we make can contribute to that as much as anyone. We too can become self-reliant and refuse to place our trust in you. So help us to lean on you as we start our journey through 2022. Help us to know that whatever we face, you are with us. You're on our side. You are our refuge and our strength. Amen.